Welcome to Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. We're America's podcast. Oh, all right. So welcome, as always. I'm Nicholas, joined by Jeremy, who should be well rested, but possibly still desperately needs a nap after the month of October.
Doing better.
And Speed Racer himself, Justin.
Oh yeah, that's me. Whip around those corners.
All right. Well, let's talk about the obvious up front. We did it, boys. We accomplished it. Jeremy set a goal, and we made it happen. 31 for 31.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh. I gotta say, when we said we were going to do it, I was a little doubtful based off of past experience, but
to be fair, we didn't do a whole lot of it. It was Jeremy.
That is true. He did.
Well, we could all celebrate.
You mean Jeremy?
I mean,
it was awesome.
We were there for a lot. I did thoroughly enjoy the game show.
Oh yes, that was a good time.
That was. I did have one. So you recorded one other movie clip just without us?
Yeah, I mean, we ran out of time that day, so I had no choice. But probably should.
I don't remember doing that one.
Yeah, I just realized I needed another one, and you guys were already done for the day. So I'm like, well, I'll do this.
We clocked out. punched my time card and was done.
Yeah, probably should have picked a different movie though. I guess I went a little obscure, but that's a famous scene from that film. So whatever.
Well, I'm sorry. Which one was it again?
I did Troll 2. The oh my god scene.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I would have gotten that one myself. That would have been.
As soon
as you said it, I was like, "Oh right, yeah, okay."
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was a really great month. We did a lot of great shit, and it's on to the next challenge.
25 days of Christmas.
Yeah, December 1st, it all starts, baby.
Oh man,
yeah, right. Some of the videos we'd have to put out for that would be so crappy. They would just be like vlogs of us being like, we tried this cookie and it was pretty tasty. All right, see you later.
I mean, maybe next year we could try that, but
you never know. I don't love Christmas nearly as much as I love Halloween, though. I don't think the oomph would be there.
No, but I do wonder what I would do with, like, if I could do like Christmas through the decades as well as I could do horror through the decades.
Yeah. Hey, man, there's always this chance we could just pepper that into the months every once in a while if we feel inspired.
I mean, I did have a lot of fun doing that, but that was, I mean, not near as much work as you had to do, but man, that was.
Yeah, I saw your sheets. I know you did a lot of stuff for that. That's like a lot of prep involved, but it's worth it.
Well, speaking of prep work and involved, breaking news as of today. Did you see that Vin Diesel is trying to patch up his relationship with The Rock?
Oh, I did not hear that.
Yeah. Just Vin Diesel put this big long post on Instagram this morning about how they need to patch up the relationship so they can finish out strong with number 10. And it's just like, all right, man. Like, I saw 9 or 8, whatever the last one was. I don't know. When they literally sent a car into space. I don't.
Well, that's why he wants to forget that abomination and finish stronger than that.
Once it goes to space, the franchise is done.
Is that a really good place to put your like grievance or like not grievances, but like put it out? Like it's really personal. Like,
I think grievances works.
okay, like, yeah, to be like, we need. Come on, man, let's patch it up. Like,
Yeah,
that's between you and him.
I think because their feud has been so public already anyway, that handling it publicly is it's and I've never been convinced that there's really been that much of a feud to begin with.
Mm,
I've always kind of assumed that it was just ticket sales, or let's get people talking. Let's keep people. Oh, hey, there we go. Let's let's keep people talking about the movies, not just because of the movie, just because of keep it in the in the zeitgeist.
yeah. I hate
But
how
who knows?
fake Hollywood is.
You never know. I mean, it's all.
You just never. Yeah, smoke and mirrors, man.
Yeah. Hey, if we put our money together, do you think you guys we could get about 300 million put together?
100 million each.
100
Sure.
million each.
Yes.
Check the couches real fast.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see what I can do.
All right, because there's a purchase that the three of us, combining our obvious vast wealth of bank accounts together, for about 300 million, we could buy the Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise, all of it.
Wow.
Toys, movies, games, action figures. It's up for sale. They're starting asking prices about 300 mil.
I feel like that's kind of cheap for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to imagine that well, we don't stand a chance at that because I don't have a mil, let alone 300 of them.
Same.
I have $1.
I'm not even sure I have $300.
Well, let's say we could bring it back in a fantasy world where we had a lot of money. What's the first move to get our money back with that franchise?
Cartoon
Do
series.
we take?
I wouldn't do a movie. I would do some kind of a cartoon series. Maybe a deal with Netflix. Make it a Netflix series.
Do we take it? Do we take it in an R-rated way? Make it an adult, like
that'd be interesting. I mean,
make Alvin and the Chipmunks dirty.
Start by making like a horror film where they all get killed off one by one.
You definitely bring in a lot more eyes to the franchise than ever before, probably. I don't know if they'd stay, but at least for that first initial, I don't know.
Alvin and the Chipmunks go to hell.
I'd watch that.
Oh, there we go.
See?
We could do a whole franchise. Alvin and the Chipmunks versus Freddy versus Jason versus Michael Myers.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
They'll be like on their shoestrings and just punch them. Get the fuck off me.
Oh man, how many different ways can we kill Dave?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dave dies again. Alvin and the Chipmunks, the rebirth of Dave.
Yeah, it's probably best we don't have the money to buy this franchise,
yeah.
I imagine.
I was just thinking we were on to something. We got this.
We probably would have just blown that 300 on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either of you enjoyed the Boondock Saints movies?
The first one.
I didn't watch the second one.
Okay. So the excitement for number 3, not really there.
Yeah, it's not there.
Oh, okay.
Was the second one any good?
It was okay. Like I
to
rewatch it.
I felt like the first one was okay.
I really liked the first one. Although they did make a documentary about the first one that is just utterly fascinating in like if you want to watch a movie about self-sabotage and how you can destroy your career as quickly as you can build it. I don't remember the name of the documentary, but the guy who wrote and directed Boondock Saints, I think his name was Troy Duffy, and that was like the first movie he had ever wrote and direct. Like he had next to no Hollywood experience, and somehow managed to pull Norman Reedus and some of these other people and some fairly Willem Dafoe, like some pretty big names into doing his first movie. But he was such an unsufferable diva and just a massive jerk, like on set and some of the stuff he did like during the movie and after the movie. It's a masterclass in how to sabotage your career, like as before it really gets started. It's the documentary is almost better than the movie because it's so fascinating to watch somebody just destroy their own career. And it also explains why it took like 10 plus years to get the second Boondock Saints movie made, because nobody wanted to. The guy was toxic. Nobody wanted to work with him after that, so he had to kind of go to movie jail for a little while.
Has he done anything since then?
You know what? I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna go while we're talking here.
But they just announced this week that there's a deal in place for Norman Reedus and Sean Patrick Flanery to come back and do Boondock Saints 3. So, I did really thoroughly enjoy the first one. The second one was okay enough for that. I'm kind of like, all right, I'll see the third one. I don't know how excited I am about it. I'd have to rewatch the second one. But okay, well that
as a writer director, he did Boondock Saints 2. That's it.
One trick pony.
As writer, he did Guest House 2020. Anyone know about that?
Nope.
Okay. And then he also released music.
Oh
yeah, that's right. He was while you're looking there, does it have the name of that documentary? It's like something delivery, I think, but
no, it has Overnight. He played as himself.
That was the name of the documentary, Overnight.
The writer of Boondock Saints. Okay.
Yeah, so I do recommend that. It's one of those documentaries that is like I said, almost equally as fascinating as the movie itself, just because like how you went from nothing and nobody to like alienating yourself, like just
yeah.
I've been doing 2 movies.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
I'm guessing I know the answer to this question as well.
These are my favorite games.
But it's probably a better chance that Justin has watched it. But have either of you watched the Karate Kid movies? Not the crappy Jackie Chan one, the original ones.
Yeah, actually,
okay.
Yeah.
I have not seen the Jackie Chan one.
Yeah, neither have I. I've just it's Jaden Smith. How can it possibly be good?
Because it's Jackie Chan.
That is true. I have recently. All right. This is a plug for something, but it's also like a genuine story that I want to talk about.
Okay.
So on 80s Flick Flashback, I've been going through their back catalog, and they did Karate Kid 1 and 2. I was like, I haven't seen those movies forever. I don't feel like I can genuinely like listen to an episode about those 2 movies with, because that's the way I look at it. You could listen to it if you want to, but I want to have seen the movie before I listen to a podcast about it, just so.
Sure.
And it's been so long, and I rewatched the Karate Kid 1 through 3 on, I think, Tubi, but and I was like, man, the first 2 were pretty good. The third one, the return on investment after the first one is really good. The second one is okay. The third one is like, oh God.
Isn't the third one just sort of like a retelling of the first story, but with a girl?
No, that's the fourth one.
Oh, okay. I don't remember the third one then.
The third one, they come back from Japan. So the first one happens, and then the second one, they go to Japan to deal with something, and then they come back from Japan, and Martin Kreese, the guy, basically the main bad guy, the leader of the Cobra Kai dojo, goes into hiding, and his military buddy takes over the Cobra Kai dojo to like humiliate Daniel and Miyagi, and they go crazy, and there's more fight. It's so not very good, really, is what it's coming to. But it reignited, like, man, I really loved those first two movies, like more than I thought, than I remembered. So I finally watched Cobra Kai. Dude, I burned through all 3 seasons, and I started last Saturday. I finished it this Saturday.
Oh my God!
Wow,
that's amazing.
That's some dedication right there.
Well, there are only 10 episodes each season, so like it's not like it took very long to watch. So
how long are the episodes?
Like 30 minutes or less, like 22 minutes, 25 minutes.
All right, it's about 9 hours. That's not too bad.
Yeah, no. But I got to tell you, I mean, all right, because they tried to keep it like for teenagers, there's definitely some like questionable acting.
Oh, okay.
And you can also tell like Ralph Macchio and William Zabka are definitely middle aged, so like there's some very creative angles to make it look like they can still like fight really well.
Nice.
But I'll recommend it because it's fun. It's good. And it's a great continuation of the 3 movies. Like it's a natural. So like it picks up like however many years, like from the last movie to this one. So they're middle-aged men who have kids, they have jobs or lives. And so it's kind of built around their kids, but it's still about like, Johnny and Danny, like kind of button heads. But I will tell you, at the end of season 2, there's a fight scene that breaks. And this isn't spoiling anything because I'm not going to tell you why the fight scene happens. But it takes place when the 2 JoJos kind of start fighting each other at a school. And it is an amazing fight scene. There's some great like one takes, like some hallway fights, and like just like basically it's like half the episode is just like one long fight.
That's cool.
It is really well done. It pays off on a lot of stuff that it was building up to. There's also a pretty good fight scene at the end of season 3, but that one at the end of season 2 is, I mean, if you're into hallway fight scenes like that one in Daredevil, or either of the Old Boys, I'm telling you, this one is up there with that. Like,
sweet.
I mean, maybe just watch that alone if you're not interested in a lot of the other stuff. But
okay, our top 5 favorite hallway fight scenes.
Daredevil.
Yeah, definitely.
The original Old Boy. And
wasn't there one in Punisher too?
Maybe
the Netflix series, I think, had one.
I think Iron Fist had one.
Wow, I never watched Punisher.
It was a rough watch. I only watched the first season.
I enjoyed it. I thought Jessica Jones was a rough watch. I never made it past the first season.
I don't
think I made it through the first season.
I think I've still got a bunch of that Netflix stuff to watch.
Yeah.
Like I watched the first 2 seasons of Daredevil, the first season of Luke Cage, the first season of Iron Fist, the first season of Jessica Jones, and then when they all came together, and the first season of Punisher. So I don't think I watched season 2 of any of them, other than Daredevil. But I think they did 3 seasons over there. So. But all right.
Yeah, it's once they start like crossing over episodes is when I find it hard to keep up with it. Because I know like Flash and Arrow did that, and once it's like you have to watch this one before this one, and then these, I was like, all right, now I'm out.
Yeah.
And then they showed me what Days of Future Tomorrow, whatever it's called, Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And then when they threw that into the mix, I was like, I can't keep up with this.
I was doing all right with it for a while, but now I just gave up on all of them. But all right, did you guys do any of the homework that I gave you?
Oh, I watched them all.
Yep.
All right,
got them all watched.
Okay, so let's talk about Well, I don't even remember if I wrote down all the ones that I sent you.
You sent
Morbius.
4. You sent us 4.
Okay, 4. Then I did write them all down. Let's talk about Morbius.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
I'm in.
Is it I don't know anything about the comics, but like the trailer to me is sort of kind of makes it seem like it's sort of like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde sort of story.
I believe so. I believe in the comics he's more like once he becomes a vampire, he's like always a vampire kind of thing.
Okay.
And I'm not over they don't use that character a lot in the comic books, so I'm not overly familiar with him. I know he's more of a Spider-Man thing, which is why
I think it was it 1941 was his first appearance? Spider-Man 101 in the 40s.
Look at you doing homework.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't have my notebook. I don't know where it went, but it has all that stuff written in it.
Yeah, I mean it gave me a real Blade vibe. I know that much.
He appeared in Blade as well.
Well, I would assume as much. I know that there was a comic code for a while where they couldn't use, like, because I know they just announced that for Halloween next year, they're probably doing Werewolf by Night with Gail Garcia. I can't remember his exact name, but I'm kind of excited about that they're doing. I mean, they're pulling out some pretty obscure characters to do shows or movies for, which is fun. You know, it's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of excited about the Morbius thing. People online are like, "Oh man, they're freak," because they're because everybody sees a trailer and automatically are experts on a movie that's not coming out until what, January or February.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
January.
Well, clearly this movie takes place in 3 different realities because it has this, and this, and it's like, or we wait till the movie to actually find out what's going on.
Yeah, right. Like, haven't they learned their lesson from all the other stuff they were wrong about?
No, they don't. They never learn their lesson. Well, clearly that means the WandaVision is going to be about Mephisto. No, it's not. When the creator goes, we never even knew Mephisto was a Marvel thing. Like, maybe he's not lying. Maybe he's telling you the truth.
Yeah.
No, I like the trailer. It's definitely something I'm going to check out.
Yeah. It'll be.
And then it occurred to me watching that it's like I have this weird thing with bats, don't I? Like I want to put a bat house up because I like bats. I've got that painting that was done by a bat that I bought from the zoo. And Batman and Man-Bat and Morbius. Apparently, I have things with bats.
You have a painting done by a bat?
Yeah. It's a small little square. I have one done by a bat and one done by a lion.
Aw.
How? All right, the lion I get because they just they put some paint in front of him and let him just walk on a canvas.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. How do you get a bat to paint something? Like,
same way.
A little brush, put it in his fan.
You just put some non-toxic paint down, and when they come down, they step in it or get in there, whatever, and then yeah.
Did they sign them?
The zookeepers wrote which animals.
Oh, okay.
So it's done by a fruit bat, and then the year it was done. They came from the Racine Zoo.
That's cool.
When we did that birthday party for my sister-in-law, the zoo gave her a birthday card that had been signed by one of the animals. They put some paint on its paw and just had it like put its paw down, and then they wrote down the name. It really signed the birthday card.
There you go. Perfect.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is with bats, but I'm in.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, so we've learned something new about Justin today. And It sounds like he maybe learned something new about himself.
I feel like you guys knew I liked bats.
Well, not to that extent.
No.
Didn't know about the painting.
No, I didn't either.
It's a really small square. It's probably about that big.
Aw.
Well, I mean, bats are small, so.
All right.
I mean, I know elephants really enjoy painting. Like they give them actual brushes, and they seem to like thoroughly enjoy actually painting.
That's cool.
I don't have anything done by an elephant.
No, I don't. I've seen it, but I don't think I've spent the money on it. All right. Moonfall.
Mm-hmm. Looks cool.
That one was out of the 4 you gave me. I'd probably put that one at number 3.
Okay.
I had Morbius at number 1.
Okay, I'm curious to see what you put at number 4 because I put Moonfall pretty far, like in between 3 and 4. There's about a good 6 feet of space. Like I put Moonfall down because I expected us to all make fun of it.
Yeah, like I watched it and I was like, okay, well, interesting. I might be one that I'll just wait for it to be like on one of the streaming services.
Yeah.
Honestly, I saw it and I was like, this isn't a sci-fi original. Like this.
Yeah, I mean, it did look pretty cheesy. There, some elements were kind of cool looking, but I have a feeling it's not really for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does Halle Berry count as an element?
No. Well,
where's she on the periodic table?
And not in the acting department, but in other ways, yes.
The looks.
Yeah.
But one just
still gotta give it up to her. Still after all these years too. To be looking like that.
Yeah.
Do you wonder if like 90% of the budget was just like Halle Berry, Donald Sutherland, and whoever, I can't remember that guy who was in the trailer, but was it? It was somebody famous.
The guy from
I already forgot him.
Oh, what's Game of Thrones?
Yeah, it was the Sam or something from Game of Thrones. I figure he came cheap because he's just like, people still want to hire me?
A paycheck? Living off that Game of Thrones money for the rest of his life.
All right, let's look real fast. But yeah, no, Moonfall looked quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I mean, Moonfall, here we go.
Yeah,
Patrick Wilson.
That's right. Yeah.
Got him away from the booth to recording Home Depot commercials to actually movie.
Yeah.
So, all right then. That was the and then there was the one trailer that I put on there basically for you two. Because I didn't know how excited you would be for Uncharted.
I was excited until he casted it.
Yeah, that even though that one was like I put that at number 2, it looks like they try to follow all 3 games.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. If they would have done them separate, they could have made this into like at least a trilogy. If they want to stick with the story. Didn't really care for the casting, but it looks good.
I was happy to see like the cargo from the plane scene. That was a nice little nod to the series, like the really extreme dangers that you face as Nathan Drake. Like really, they nailed that. But
that's the 3rd one, right?
Yeah, I think it was the 3rd one. Yeah. I'd like to see like the train falling off the bridge and climbing up the train.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wonder if they're going to do stuff like that, like throughout. It looks like it. It looks really like a mass scale film. But
casting could have been better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. As somebody who didn't play the game, what's wrong with Tom Holland or Marky Mark?
I just don't like the ages.
Yeah, in the game, Sully's a lot older.
Yeah.
They're both older.
They're both a lot older. Yeah, like Nathan Drake is like 40s.
Yeah, I'd say in his 40s, and Sully's got to 60, pushing 70.
Yeah.
And Sully's also got that gravelly, like a gruff voice.
Yeah, like it should have
like he's always smoking those cigars, and it's just he's gravelly.
It should have been Bruce Campbell, like you cast it a long time ago in the fantasy one we did.
James Roday and Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Go listen to one of the podcast episodes that don't exist anymore, and you'll hear me preaching that back then.
I think though, with that being said, it could have been a lot worse. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, I won't even look at this, but it's a little disappointing when you go from looking at the game and then seeing this. It's like, yeah.
Did they? I mean, I didn't, like I said, didn't play the game, so I know nothing. Going into it, it'll be like, wow, this is fun. Like, I enjoy this. I understand. Like, from the get go, a lot of the hardcore gamers are going to be angry about the movie, regardless of if it's good or not. I don't know who Tati Gabrielle is, but she's playing Braddock. Did they change anything there?
Well, a little bit, right?
Yeah, she from the first game?
Yeah, I think so.
And then it looks like Antonio Banderas is the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much nailed that one because I think that it's always just a generic foreign guy for all the games, so that's fine. I wonder if they're gonna do the supernatural stuff like they did in like the first one, with like some of the undead rising at the end of the temple.
Oh yeah,
because if they did that, I'd be pretty impressed. I'd even forgive them for the casting a little bit. But I'll check it out. I mean,
yeah, I don't know if it's another one I'd see in theaters, but I'd definitely watch it on one of the streaming services.
Yeah, it's got to be better than the Tomb Raider movie that was out a few years back. I mean,
the one that we went and saw.
Yeah,
any of the Tomb Raider movies would be better.
Really, yeah.
I mean, that the Tomb Raider movie could have been so much better if they hadn't done like a 30-minute bicycle chase through London.
Yeah,
it had nothing to do with the story whatsoever.
Yeah, like seriously. And she was good. She's a good Lara Croft, but the movie was just what the fuck.
Well, and like, had they just stuck to the first, like what you guys are saying, it looks like they combined all three games, or I don't know how many Uncharted games there are.
Well, there's 4 plus like a spin-off they did with the females.
But you're saying it looks like they shoved a bunch of them in together rather than kind of do them individually. That's kind of what they did with like Rise of the Tomb. They did with that Tomb Raider movie. They kind of took Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider and jammed them together.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, guys, like you had 2 perfect movies, like right there. Like,
yeah, like, take your time. You can maximize profit.
Even playing the Uncharted games, they play like a movie. With the action scenes, the cut scenes, the story, it's like a mini movie right there.
Right. So like if you want your Uncharted movie, just play the game. It's right there for you. But
well, I mean, if they ever put Uncharted over on Xbox, I'll gladly play it.
I can lend you a PS4.
You could, and then one day I'll have time to actually do that. But
I do think that Naughty Dog is owned by Sony, but crazier things have happened. So you never know.
Well, I mean, MLB The Show is clearly still owned by Sony, and every time I turn that game on, I get the PlayStation logo.
Yeah, so you never know. Each new year, there's always an opportunity for the studios to come together.
It's just a matter of time before they figure out that like exclusivity is just kind of a dumb thing. Like, you're cutting off half your profits for no reason other than just despite it's what's the old phrase, cutting off your nose to spite your face?
Yeah.
I think the only one that the exclusivity works with is Mario.
Yeah.
Keep that with Nintendo.
Yeah.
The rest of it, be like, come on. Doesn't need to be PlayStation or Xbox. Like if they put the Gears of War games on PlayStation, instead of just Xbox, I would gladly go back and play those because I don't have an Xbox. I haven't played them since number 3. Was number 3 Judgment Day? Maybe.
I don't know.
I never really got into that series too much. So
same.
Fine, it's just me. me and Tony used to play them all the time.
Well, I tell you what, you get Tony on here and you guys can do a whole episode on just Gears of War.
Oh, it's been so long we have to replay them. That one and then Army of Two. We played that one a lot.
Oh, I liked Army of Two. That was a good game. Yeah.
Is that one of those games where you had to play 2-player, like you didn't have an option?
You could play with computer, but it wasn't nearly as fun.
Yeah, that's probably why I never played that one then. Yeah. But all right, so the last movie on the list, and I kept it for last because I think it's going to have the most controversy behind it. Lightyear.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. This is a movie about Buzz Lightyear. So this is like a movie that Andy would go see in the universe of Toy Story. Or like, I don't really understand it.
As I understand it, in the Toy Story universe, the Buzz Lightyear toy was based off of a real astronaut named Buzz Lightyear doing Star Command things. Now, whether or not they're dealing with like actual aliens or not, that's another thing that I don't know. But so Buzz Lightyear is the one in this movie is a different Buzz Lightyear. Mm-hmm. It's the real, using quotation marks, real Buzz Lightyear, which is why A, he looks different, and B, is not voiced by Tim Allen.
Huh?
So we'll circle back to that.
Okay.
So I think this is a movie that's based off the character that the toy
is based off of,
inspired by. Like so like there would have been like everybody having toys of like Neil Armstrong or who was the Daredevil guy? Evel Knievel. So all the toys they were making about them, like this is a movie about that guy.
Okay.
So they're keeping it animated. Now everybody's all like, oh, they've canceled Tim Allen because he dares be conservative / Republican. No. Read the description of the movie. If you use your brain, it makes sense as to why they didn't use Tim Allen, because it's not the same Buzz Lightyear.
Right. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know people were upset.
Oh my God. Everybody's freak saying, oh, this is just Disney doing the Gina Carano thing all over again. Oh, and they're canceling yet another conservative actor. It's like, no. Because like when they do Toy Story 5,
he'll be there.
Tim Allen will be there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, 4 was pretty recent too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
4 was just in the last like 4 years. I mean,
so yeah, like if they wanted to cancel the guy, I think they would have by now.
Because it wasn't like we didn't know where he stood politically, when they made that movie or when they made the second movie or the third movie.
Yeah. People are.
Or all of the Santa Claus movies,
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Disney has a long history of making money off of Tim Allen. Mm-hmm. They're not about to cancel that money train just because they don't like his politics.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because it's one thing like if you go around saying stupid things or doing stupid things. He doesn't really do that. He just has, conservative political beliefs.
Yeah. Yeah, he's never. Yeah, he's chill. He's fine.
Yeah. So people just freak out. They read into everything, and they like, oh my God, I can't believe he said, well, So I don't know. I'm. It's going to Disney Plus. Like I don't have to go see it in the theaters. Like I would just be able to turn. So it'll be much easier to talk myself into watching it.
Yeah. It didn't really do much for me watching the trailer.
So that was number 4?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay. I mean, it didn't really... Shut up. It didn't really catch my attention.
Not my dog.
That's because she dropped her toy.
Aw. I like the music they used in the trailer.
Yeah.
The Bowie song was a nice touch.
Yeah. I liked the trailer. I'm curious... And obviously, we'll probably get another 1 or 2 trailers before we actually get the movie. But I'm curious to see what who Zurg, like the real life Zurg, will be, and some of the other stuff, like how
some commander who doesn't want him to do something.
Right. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that reminds me of the whole, conservatives trying to be canceled just because they have to. Have you seen the Anna Faris, Chris Pratt nonsense?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Chris Pratt put a post out about his new wife. He posted on Instagram like, "Oh, you know, I love my wife. She's so amazing. She does this," and he used the phrase, "She gave me a healthy daughter." He said some other stuff. And now Anna Faris and him had a son who was born premature, so has had a lot of health problems in his life.
Okay.
But I can promise you this much, because Chris Pratt still spends a lot of time with his kid, even though him and Anna Faris are divorced, that when he wrote it, everybody's like, "Oh, this is just a slight on Anna Faris. Like he's attacking her because she dared give birth, premature." And it's like, no.
Oh, come on.
That's not what happened. I guarantee you he wasn't thinking about that when he wrote that. Like he wasn't slamming Anna Faris. He wasn't like, "Oh, Anna Faris sucks," because he was just like, "Oh man, it's so great. I have a healthy, my daughter's healthy. My wife is awesome.
Yeah.
Like this is all good." Like he wasn't like, "Oh, Anna Faris is a dumb bitch," and blah blah.
Yeah, just the baby was healthy. Perfect.
Based off all the stories I've ever heard about Chris Pratt, he doesn't have a mean bone in his body. Like he doesn't say or do things that like would be that like
he's showing up to children's hospitals in costume. Like what the fuck?
Right. He and like I said, even though him and Anna Faris are divorced, like he still spends a lot, like based off of what I see, granted, again, I don't know the guy, but based on what I see, he still spends a lot of time with his son and a lot of time with and from what I can tell, the divorce has been pretty like for Hollywood, like pretty like, all right, well, we just can't be together anymore. All right, well, you have a nice life, you have a nice life. And they're still friendly with each other. Like it's not like some divorces where they're like, if I see you, I'm gonna rip your fucking head off. As far as Hollywood divorces, it seems pretty amicable. Can someone say that word for me?
Amicable.
There you go.
Amicable.
There we go. It's good to know that I'm not the only one who struggles with amicable.
Pretty peaceful.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't understand why people. That's such a deep read into that. It's like I would never have even thought that.
No, and that's like when I saw the post and I was like, oh, that's very nice. That's kind of a little cheesy, but it's nice thing. And then it said something about controversy, and I figured it had to do with like, because Chris Pratt is a Christian. He's a practicing Christian, and he talks about meeting what's her name Schwarzenegger at a church in the church, and talking about glory to God. So I figured that was the controversy. People were like, "How dare you be Christian?" And then then they were like, "No, it's because he made fun of Anna Faris." Where? Like,
or because
where in that post does he say anything about Anna Faris?
Because he assumed the gender of his daughter.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about
another
that.
Controversy.
Oh, didn't think about that one. What a monster!
How dare you?
I'm back on the internet side. This reminds me of the Guns Ablazing thing from a few years back, where that NFL player said he was going to go out guns ablazing, and they thought he was directing it toward that one dude, but he was like, "What? No! Like I just said that. Like it's a phrase."
But I mean, if you get on Twitter and you read all the people who are anti Chris Pratt or saying like he was making fun of Anna Faris, like every one of them makes reference to the fact that he's either a Christian or B conservative. Like so clearly it has nothing to do with them trying to protect Anna Faris or him saying bad things about her. It's you're showing your political beliefs are leading how you run your life.
Yeah. They want to find a reason because they already don't like him. Haters, man.
I don't want to talk about the Aaron Rodgers controversy.
That's a good idea.
So, OT with JD, do you have any comments on it, or do you just want to move on?
Let's just move on.
All right.
Jeremy, do you want to?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, all right.
All right. Okay.
That's a whole can of worms.
I just hope he comes back. And I'll forget he said
Well,
anything.
I tell you what, I didn't watch much of it, but I was keeping tabs on it throughout the day, and then I turned on and watched the last maybe 5 minutes of the game. Other than that drive where they had a chance to maybe get the ball back when it was third and kind of long, I feel like that defense did a really good job. I mean, they held. Yeah. I mean, Kansas City's not that good of a football team this year, but it's still Patrick Mahomes, and they held that offense to. They held him to 1 touchdown and held the offense to 13 points.
Right.
Clearly, special teams need some help.
If our special teams could make a field goal, 0 for 2.
It was very windy.
Would have had that game. Would have had that game tied up.
Yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Was the block on Mason Crosby, or was that just a failure of the line? Because, like I said, I didn't watch much of the game, so.
Most of it, I think, was a failure of the line. That line has been terrible the whole year. And then Malik Taylor getting in the way of a punt that wasn't even his to return.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Well, that was stupid. I remember what happened last time there was a player who got in the way of of a punt. He got traded to the Jets the next during the week. So
yeah,
I think they should leave Malik Taylor and Drayton, the special teams coordinator in KC. You just stay here. We're not bringing you home.
So, what do you guys think about the Braves beating the Chitros?
Not much.
That's fine. I checked out after the Brewers were eliminated.
Yeah. How weird of a stat, just a weird quirk and coincidence, is it that in the history of the Milwaukee Brewers, every time they've made the playoffs, they have lost to the team that won the World Series?
That is weird.
It just shows how good they are that year.
You can hang your hat on that.
The team that beat you, not the Brewers. I mean, if you're going to lose, you might as well lose to the team that
right, but I mean,
becomes champ.
I mean, granted, I know it's a small sample size. Like, you're not going to the playoffs near as often as, say, like the Yankees, who have 27 World Series, so probably, 50 playoff appearances?
Yeah.
But still, I mean, American League, the 1 or 2 times they went to the playoffs, I mean, granted, then it was 1 round of playoffs and then the World Series, so they lost the World Series the 1 time they went. And then, every time in the last, because this is the 3rd or 4th year in a row they've been to the playoffs.
Third, yeah.
3rd year. So every time they got into the playoffs in the last 3 years, so if you're in the playoffs against the Brewers and you're just like, we're going to win the World Series this year. All right.
We beat them. We're winning the World Series.
All right. All we got to do is beat
the parade.
Yeah. For real. Yeah, it's unfortunate. The seasons are so damn long, and then you finally get there, and it's like, oh, see ya. Sucks, man.
I thought for sure this year the Brewers had something special going, but
seemed like a well-rounded team for sure. But
and then they forgot how to hit.
Yep. All of a sudden, too bad.
I still, I know that a lot of people get mad about this, but I still question if Craig Counsell is the manager that's going to get the job done.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great regular season coach, but I mean, you've got 3 years in a row and then 4 or 5 years of playoffs of, some questionable managerial choices in the playoffs.
I mean, people were saying the same thing about Budenholzer for the Bucks.
It's true.
Even when he was with Atlanta.
But I mean, look at Dusty Baker with the Cubs. I mean, he had them right there, and then they brought in Joe Madden, and 2 years later he had the World Series.
Yeah.
So you gotta wonder if maybe cut ties with Craig Counsell, bring somebody in to kind of switch it up, not completely, but switch it up enough to, push it through. But, I don't know. I'm not David Stearns, so.
Would be nice if you were.
It would be.
We could buy Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
At that point, yeah. We're going to sell the Brewers so we could buy Alvin and the Chipmunks.
This is way more important.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably see if like Giannis or one of them wants to buy Alvin and the Chipmunks. They have enough money.
That is true. I did tweet out, when you and I went and saw Willy's Wonderland a couple weeks ago, and I did finally remember to tweet Greg Marcus. He hasn't responded yet, but I feel like if I keep asking, like I should make that like a weekly, like every Monday, just, tweet. Like it's see if I can get him on the podcast.
It's me again. He's going to send you a restraining order.
Hey, we got a pretty good episode out of when we got a restraining order from the NFL. So
that's true. That's true.
Might as well just keep collecting restraining orders.
Hey, we're the podcast with the most restraining orders.
Hey, that's a nice thing to hang your hat on.
Hey, who else can say that?
Yeah, it'd set us apart for sure.
We got a new goal.
Speaking of that day, I don't know if I ever told you this, but my friend Damon was there seeing a movie, and he said he saw you guys coming out of the theater. He's like, your Pop Culture Roulette friends were there at the theater today.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're getting noticed in public.
That is,
you're famous.
Our fans are recognizing us.
Yeah.
I would have appreciated it if he had come up and been like, oh, hey, guys. I wouldn't have known who he was. So it would have been very confusing. But
this is a Pop Culture Roulette field trip?
Are you two from Pop Culture Roulette? Like, it would have given Justin and I some real things to talk about on the way home.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. Yeah, that I just don't tell you that it's a guy that I know.
We'd be like, oh, shit.
People are recognizing us.
Shit,
we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
I got to tell you, I mean, going back to that, and that reminds me, Willy's Wonderland, obviously, we all three of us have seen it because we all watched it on Hulu. Seeing it on the big screen was something else. That movie...
Yeah.
I mean, cool. It's so cheesy, but it's so much fun.
I sent you that Snapchat because I watched it like a week and a half ago.
You sent me a Snapchat?
I thought so. Maybe not. I don't remember.
You watched it again after seeing it in the theater?
In theaters, yeah.
Man.
Maybe I didn't. I thought I did. I turned it on at the house. I fell asleep because I worked those stupid hours.
Oh, yeah. It says you did send me one a week ago.
I
don't remember it, but,
I think it was Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, yeah. That just watching it on the big screen where you got to see Nicolas Cage curb stomp an animatronic gorilla into a urinal.
Hell yeah. That's
and the reaction of the people there too.
Yeah, there was what, 20, 30 people there?
Yeah, I'd say 20.
Wow. That's surprising. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean it was a good time. I mean, I'm glad I didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Same. If I had to pay, like I told you going there, if we had to pay for it, probably wouldn't have went.
No, because I had to go to work, because I was out, I had to drive all the way out there and drive home and I, was kind of tired the next day. Like if it had been like a Friday or a Saturday night, maybe I would have paid, like $5 or whatever. But on a school night.
Yeah. Do they still do those weird intros with Greg Marcus where he tries to be funny?
Yes, that's why I brought that up because because I leaned over to Justin. I was like, we should get him on the podcast.
Wait till they put his Twitter feed up and handle up to where to get him on board. I don't use my Twitter for much. Maybe I'll have to start attacking him.
We should all see who can get blocked by him first.
Guys, enough already. Block. Create new handle.
Simple solution. Just accept the invitation.
Yeah. We'll leave you alone as soon as you show up to one of the podcasts.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
you can jump on. Or if he doesn't want to jump on and he wants us to leave him alone, just maybe a little sponsorship.
Yeah.
There you go.
Kick us a couple tickets every.
We'll gladly do. Welcome to Media Pod Smash. Welcome to Pop Culture Roulette, sponsored by Marcus Theaters.
Hell yeah.
America's podcast presented by America's Theater. Let's go. Give us those free tickets.
I'll even record a Media Pod Smash opening. Welcome to Media Pod Smash, sponsored by Marcus Theaters.
Hell yeah. That'd be awesome.
All right. Well, does anybody have anything that we maybe missed?
Well, did you hear what AMC Theaters is going to be doing to try to recoup some of their money?
Renting out like theaters as hotel rooms? I don't know.
No, that'd be awesome though. But no, they're doing like they're gonna be doing pop-up shops and like mall kiosks and like throughout other different like storefronts where they're gonna sell the movie theater popcorn and like other concessions. So it'll be just like a corner store kind of thing, but like they want to bring the quality of the movie theater popcorn to just like standalone places.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think if they're gonna do that, they should probably sell some like movie memorabilia, maybe.
Yeah, that'd
like
be cool.
Pieces of reels or something like that.
Or maybe, bring back the idea of like the Suncoast video, like, but just call it like AMC video or something.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Having because I miss like FYE or Sam Goody or Suncoast. Like, I loved going into there and just like flipping through the DVDs and like finding those obscure like foreign ones or flipping through the posters or the shirts. Like,
yeah.
Just don't have that anymore.
Right, for sure.
I was gonna say I do like the idea of the movie theater popcorn because that's like one of the best parts of going.
Yeah, it really is. But
so you're saying like it's just gonna be like a kiosk in the mall, like AMC Theaters, like
presents popcorn.
I'll pull the article. They're doing kiosks. Yeah, it's gonna be like AMC like storefront, but like they're also doing I also read they're independent stores too, so it could be like its own storefront.
Now, are they going to be selling the popcorn at movie theater prices, or will the popcorn be coming down in price outside of the movie theater?
I would think they'd have to make it cheaper. They there's no way they could get away with it.
Is it all going to be pre-bagged, or are you going to be able to get as much of that butter flavoring to clog your arteries as you want?
I don't know. Probably.
It's probably all going to be pre-bagged. You can buy this bag or this bag.
So I would imagine as much.
Or they wheel the whole popcorn machine over there with the butter flavoring.
Also, okay, so they want to have 15 retail stores in the US by the end of 2022 where they're going to have the fresh popcorn on site. But they're also going to do their own brand of microwavable packaged popcorn for grocery stores.
Okay. So So AMC is going to war with Orville Redenbacher.
Yeah, it's on.
And what is it? Jolly Time?
Yeah.
Jolly Time.
I think that's the one.
Pop Weaver.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've been in that aisle.
Pop Weaver. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. The popcorn is good.
Orville Redenbacher has their movie theater style microwave popcorn, and AMC is like, yeah. Well, this is the real stuff.
This is the real movie theater.
I mean, if they could actually pull it off, they would be amazing because I have yet to find any microwave bags that even come close to movie theater. I mean,
no, that is true. I mean, there's something to be said for movie theater. Okay, apparently.
Don't worry about it.
Bye.
I mean, it is. Yeah, movie theater popcorn is different. I mean, especially if you get it when they've just popped it and it's nice and fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some of those microwave, like the Orville Redenbacher ones, like the Butter Lovers or like movie theater that are close, but
yeah, but it's just always feels like it's just you know the difference, like something's off.
I have a R2D2 popcorn machine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like a popcorn machine. They just painted it to kind of be R2D2 like.
That's cool.
It's hard to figure out exactly because, like, as it's popping, like you have to like put the oil, like you have to like melt the butter and get it on there as soon as you can. Like, I don't know, it's difficult to get it right. But I've played around with like putting like Cajun seasoning or like paprika or like kind of spicing it up and doing stuff that I can't get at a movie theater.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun, but
Huh.
it's still
Is
like not.
is it one of the ones that has the spinning rod, or is it one of the standing ones that shoots out the top?
Shoots out the top.
All
Like
right.
it's got
Yeah, I have the other one where it's got the whole like hot plate that's got that little rod that spins around it.
yeah, like it's got the like you pour the kernels in the top, and then you turn it on, and it just kind of spins them around inside it and then it just kicks it out like out of the front spout, like so. Like
Okay.
I have to put like a towel or something, or like I have to hold like to when it shoots into the bowl, like it doesn't just like immediately just start like launching around the kitchen because you're just like, oh, you gotta stay in there.
No, I got the one that big round one that you put the oil on, and then you put the seeds right on, and it just has that bar that pushes them,
Oh yeah,
Oh
I've
no,
seen those.
and then it heats up and it just pops it, and then you flip it over, and the lid's its own bowl.
yeah, I don't know. I got it because I had a gift card for one of those weird like Think Geek websites or something like, and it was like the only thing on there that was remotely interesting. I don't use it near as often as I should, but
Yeah, I don't remember why I got this. I think it was like a Christmas present or something. I've used it like twice.
yeah, it's one of those like, oh, okay, I could make my own, or I could just pull out the bag and put it in the microwave for 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, well, I don't think I've got anything else. Nothing. Kind of a slow, or I mean, we got some trailers, but not really a lot of news
Yeah.
coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too much.
Oh, there was the Letitia Wright injury.
Whoa.
Okay.
What happened to her?
She injured her back doing something on Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and apparently it was bad enough that they've shut down filming for a little while to let her heal up. So
that sucks.
That Black Panther movie, Black Panther 2, might be pushed back a little bit.
Gotcha. Didn't hear about that.
That's because there was another movie injury that most people have been kind of focused on the last couple weeks.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
That we didn't talk about. I guess we can briefly touch on that real fast, but that seems like kind of a hot button.
Yeah.
So Alec Baldwin killed somebody.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I do wonder. There's no way he did it intentionally. I don't believe anybody who, like, all the people who are like selling the shirts, like, guns don't kill people. Alec Baldwin does, or all the people. I think a lot of it's just because Alec Baldwin is so far the other way that you have people who are just trying to be like, oh well, he clearly. I don't think it was done intentionally. I think you have a host of mistakes that it's kind of like a Rube Goldberg device where you have to have like 20 things in a row go right or wrong for this one thing to happen. And so, I mean, ultimately, because he's the producer of the movie, they're probably going to find him, at least financially liable. But I don't see any way where he is going to jail. Maybe the lady who was in charge of the guns, or the assistant director who was, like, they're the people who are supposed to do the safety checks. One of them might get some jail time just for negligence. But
yeah.
But I do think it's a pretty extreme overreaction. All these movie sites and all these producers going, we're never going to use real guns again. It's all going to. I mean, I get it. I mean, but go back through the history of movies. I know there's more than two, but really, there's only two that's high profile.
Yeah. That's
you've
literally
got,
the only other one I can think of.
right.
Yeah.
You've got The Crow,
Yeah.
and then you have this one. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there are hundreds of movies and TV shows made a year. Just, I mean, think about every cop show on TV, how many hundreds of bullets they fire every season,
Sure.
and nobody ever gets injured.
Yeah.
Same with like Walking Dead too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly surprised more people don't get like slashed or hurt by fake swords or stabbed by stuff, because that's harder to fake than a blank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely.
And from what I've seen with a lot of those like documentaries about this stuff, like the prop knives look and weigh and feel just like the real ones. So that'd be a lot easier to just like accidentally switch out and stab somebody.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know I've shot real guns. I don't know if either of you have ever shot real guns.
Just once.
Yeah. A lot
Justin?
younger. When I was a lot younger.
But I'm going to assume that the weight of a real gun with a fake bullet or a real bullet is not that different from one another. Like,
right. Yeah.
So, whether you have a gun that's loaded with bullets, a gun that's not loaded with bullets is not that different weight wise. Like, so, and I mean, now somebody like Alec Baldwin, who's been on movie sets for how many decades now and has handled how many hundreds of guns, maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I mean, I don't know I don't know how much of a gun aficionado he is offset. Like, but I mean, if somebody came up to me and handed me a gun and said, "This is a cold gun. Let's go shoot this scene," I would be like, "Okay, let's go shoot this scene."
You would assume someone's already done all the things they need to do.
But everybody's like, "Oh, I was always taught you never pointed at anybody, and you always like." What actors? Most actors are too dumb to know how to check a gun themselves.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's not happening on other sets.
Right. They're not checking their guns themselves. They're not like, "Oh, hold on, let me do a safety check here." Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, blanks and real bullets don't look that different from one another.
Gotcha.
But I don't. Again, not a gun expert. I've shot shotguns and rifles more than I've shot handguns.
Mm-hmm.
But and it's been probably 25 years since I shot a handgun. So
yeah.
So I mean, it's a tragic accident, and I guarantee you that for the rest of his life, he will always. I mean, because even though he didn't do it on purpose, ultimately, at the end of the day, he's still the one that took the life, and that's going to haunt him for the rest of his life. Even if he can, even at the end of the investigation, they can be like, it was an unavoidable accident that or I guess it's going to have been an avoidable accident because there are multiple people who failed at their safety checks along the line.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of it, like, it's not going to be Alec Baldwin's direct fault because he was an actor who was handed a prop and said, "This is clean. This is good."
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right, well then, I guess if you choose to let your politics get in the way of enjoying a movie trailer or an Instagram post because you are too dumb to realize that politics don't belong in those things, or you, I don't know, lie about tests or not lie, just actively use different wording, just remember that stupid never walks alone.
Oh, yeah.